Today, we become legends.
Today's Titan Talk showcased a ton of stuff coming to the game in the OB7 patch, which will be launching next Monday, and we'll have a flash test tomorrow. There's a lot to cover, so drop a like and subscribe for my future recaps, and let's jump in. So first up, Cerberus was showcased in-game, and he's the next potted god coming with this update. I'm not going to cover him in this video, as I already have a full showcase video for him up on the channel, which I'll link below, and you can check out after this one. He looks cool though, and he is launching with an aspect. There's a new conquest mechanic coming to the game in OB7 called Wind Sprites, that starts after the first Gold Fury kill of the game. These small tornadoes will start appearing in random areas all around the map, and they can be interacted with to launch yourself in a direction. This can go over walls, and there's a very similar mechanic in League for those that play that, and it seems like you can make some pretty crazy plays with these that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. Poseidon will be getting an aspect in OB7, which will launch 1 week into the update, basically like your Mojas did for OB6. Aspect Poseidon will always have Trident basic attacks active, and they'll deal standard basic attack damage instead of ability damage. But when you activate the Trident ability, your basic attacks will instead converge at max range, sort of like a Baron one or Nut one, and the side hits will pierce enemies, making it really good for basic attack wave clear, almost like a mini version of Izanami. Obviously, the aspect is going to shift in towards a basic attack playstyle, as the damage now scales like a regular basic attack and can be focused using the 2. His 1 will also gain some basic attack damage scaling with the aspect to push that even further. However, if you are aspect on with Poseidon, you do lose the triple wave on your 1, which is a pretty big hit to his ability burst damage. So that's one of the main downsides of this aspect. They also clarified that the side hits on the Trident basic attacks won't proc item effects like Kin Size or Braggy's Heart, but they will be able to crit. The new Wandering Market, Tidy Tales, was showcased, which looks awesome. It has a theme this time built around maids and butlers. As with the first Wandering Market, you spend your earned coins to buy things from each page. The first page is free, but you have to buy the premium market to access the rest of the pages. The skins for this market are Maid of Mischief Amaterasu, Maid to Kill Izanami, Butler of the Bins Danzaburo, and Maid of Midnight Ekate. Not to my taste personally, but if you're a fan of these skins, the market is by far the best value purchase in the game right now. Ward skins are making their debut with this market as well. This Cat Butler is going to be the first ward skin in the game. And as with the first market, there are other smaller things you can buy like badges, trackers, jump stamps, global emotes, loading frames, all that kind of stuff. I won't go over every single thing in the market here. You can check it out on the flash test or when the update launches. There'll also be some buybacks for diamonds and some tokens like Ascension Pass tokens and classic skin tokens, that kind of stuff. There's also a new Ra skin in this update, not in the market, which is another Prism skin. This looks sick in my opinion and is an even better showcase of the Prism system than the Susano skin was. They also mentioned they're experimenting with Prism pricing, and the pricing might be different in this update. Hopefully all the Prisms are at least the same price now. I feel like that makes sense. Thanatos is also coming back in this update as a classic skin, and it actually has Prisms in Smite 2, which is pretty cool, so you can change the color of your toast. Shadow Howler Hunbats is also coming back as a classic skin in this update. Fletched Fawn Artemis is also finally launching in this update as a cross-gen skin. It was accidentally released early quite a while back, then disabled. If you bought it then, you will still have access to it now though. You won't have to rebuy it. And finally, Spirit Stone's Geb is also coming in OB7 as another cross-gen skin, so if you own it in Smite 1, you should get it in Smite 2. If you don't, then try closing Smite 2, open Smite 1, then reboot Smite 2, and that usually fixes it. If you still don't have it at that point, you'll probably have to go through the website and submit a support ticket. There's also a couple of recolored Bunny Nuwa skins that are coming for an Easter event that's going to be going on throughout OB7. The green one is free in the Easter event, and the black one will be in a chest. The event will be running throughout OB7 with various mini quests to do with rewards, probably similar in scale to the Lunar Eclipse event we had recently. The flash test for OB7 is planned for tomorrow as this video goes out, so Tuesday, April 1st if you want to check out some of that stuff in game. And as always, the projected date for OB7 going live is Monday, April 7th. There's going to be a new section in the shop with this patch called the Supporter Store, which has account level unlocks to get some extra features for your account. For example, you can buy name colors in this store, which is probably why they changed the legacy name look recently. So you can now buy name colors from this store. You won't be able to use legacy gems on these either. It's only going to be diamond purchases for anything in the Supporter Store. You can also buy global emote slots from the Supporter Store, so you can run multiple global emotes at once. You can buy a pack of 3 currently, so you can run 4 different global emotes. That's all that's coming in the Supporter Store this patch, but there might be some more stuff coming to it in a similar vein later on in terms of like account-wide cosmetic unlocks. There's a new unlock animation as well for when you do buy this stuff that's way less intrusive and doesn't take up the whole screen, which was some much needed QOL. The action has been taken against a player you reported message has also been added this patch. I know a lot of people missed the catharsis that this message gives, so it's nice to finally have it. There's also a lot of people in the community that seem to think just because this message isn't popping up, they aren't banning anyone, which is completely incorrect, so this should help with that. They also have a notification saying if you were recently reported as well, with different variations depending on how much you've been reported and what you've been reported for, as basically a heads up that if you continue as you are, there's a decent chance you're going to get banned. There's going to be a big balance pass in OB7 as well, but they aren't quite ready to showcase all of it yet, and are still ironing some stuff out. The balance should be showcased on Wednesday's show though, so stay tuned for that. That was everything from the showcase section of the show, and they basically had like 5 minutes left at the end of all this for questions, so there wasn't that much in terms of Q&A, but here's the bite-sized Q&A section for this week's talk. Someone asked about Conquest visual updates like the buff camps last patch, and Kilgun said there aren't any in this patch, but I imagine they are still working on that stuff in the background. It was very well received. There was a question about the Thanatos prisms, and they said that the base skin will be legacy gems, as all classic skins are, but the prisms themselves will be diamonds only. And as I mentioned earlier, they are still looking at how to price prisms, so keep giving feedback on that. Someone also asked about a bundle to buy all prisms in one purchase for a certain skin, and they said they don't have the tech to do that right now, but they do want to add it in the future, and it would be nice for QOL. There was another question about worshipper leaderboards, and they said they'd need to build out the tech for it, as the current system only supports one leaderboard, which obviously is the ranked conquest leaderboard at the moment, but they are open to adding this stuff in the future though. Someone asked if the Cerberus aspect will continue shredding procs and stacking the slow beyond the normal amount, and Clumsy said no, it will be capped at the normal amount, just the damage will continue and will refresh the debuff with each tick, but it won't stack it more. But that's it for this OB7 Titan Talk recap. Another massive patch with a ton of new content and changes, and we haven't even seen the balance that will be launching with this update yet either. That will be on Wednesday. Let me know what you think of all the new stuff coming in this patch down below, and I'll catch you guys for another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.